Good evening, everyone. This is the December 11, 2019 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live, Richard, and also is being recorded probably for posterity. It can be seen at the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Before I begin, I'm required to ask if anyone in the audience is making a recording of this meeting. There being no indication that that's the case. The first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing. Mr. Glenn Kravosky applying for or submitting a request for determination of applicability for 36 Inwood Street in Auburn. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Aye.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Mr. Kravosky, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Garland, Chairman, and the rest of the board. Yes, this is an addition at 36 Inwood, where the existing deck is. A portion of the deck, if you're looking at that plan, on the left-hand side, facing the plan to the left, will be, all the deck is going to be gone there. There will be no deck to the left-hand side of that proposed addition. It's a 12 by 20. It'll be on their screw-ins, they screw them into the ground. The existing sonotubes holding up the deck are flush, and they'll be left there. And so it's just a family room where a deck is, and it's smaller than what the deck is.
So, members of the board had an opportunity to go out to the site before we had snow, which was a good thing. And the wetland area is clearly delineated and quite some distance away from where the proposed construction is going to take place.
Yes, sir.
And so, based on my observations, this would seem to be an appropriate submittal for an RDA and for a negative determination, but that's just my opinion.
Thank you, sir.
Any comments from the board?
No.
Okay. If there are no comments from the board, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
Second that?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Thank you, boys. Good holidays.
Welcome.
And might I say
Enjoy.
good Christmas,
Thank you.
too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, we appreciate so much your time. Thank you. Going to keep Sheila around for a little while longer, or is this just a real short period?
We're going to try.
2019.
Thank you.
Definitely start.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Next year, pumpkin.
I went to SAI.
Okay. Oh, yes, so you have requested a certificate of compliance for the charging stations on Southbridge Street.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why don't you come on up?
Hold the chair if you want to just put it on. I'm sorry, we usually ask them up there.
No, the snow kind of makes it hard, doesn't it?
Yeah, so,
The snow, dark, yeah.
yeah, really.
Okay, so... Ms. Sharp, I see that you submitted back in November. It looks like you submitted an as-built plan, is that correct?
That is correct. However, I am Miss Nicole.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not a problem.
My apologies.
Becky is actually out of Texas.
Okay, all right. So as you probably know, we normally do take a site visit, and so, I thank you for coming out today. What we'll do is we will take a look, and assuming there is no issue, and I don't believe there will be, then we will, at the next time of our meeting, which is going to be January 8th, we will most likely vote and issue a certificate of compliance.
Okay, did anyone have any questions?
No.
I don't think so.
By there.
I don't remember there being much
Yeah, no, that's right.
in the way of,
How many units are there, actually charging units? 8?
we're way outside all buffers.
Okay. Again, we just need to do a visual inspection to confirm the plan, but I'm sure, given the detailed plan you submitted, that everything is going to be in order. So we'll carry this over to our agenda for January 8th, and that will give us ample opportunity to go and inspect. And as I said, we'll most likely vote on the certificate of compliance being issued at that time. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a good spot to put that.
Yeah, I think they look really nice too.
Yeah.
They did a good job on that site. I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone's
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it or driven
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
I just took a peek myself, so they look really great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, thanks for coming in.
You want me to leave this here?
Yeah, that's fine, thank you.
Thank you.
I know it's Christmas season, but is anybody available to do site visits just Saturday?
Possibly.
Because I think it's gonna rain early afternoon, but it's
supposed to
supposed to
rain
be
all day.
warmer. It's gonna rain all day?
Supposed to start Friday night.
Okay.
That was my last thing I just heard.
Okay.
Could be wrong, though.
Oh, we got plenty of
Don't
time.
shoot the messenger.
Just- You might get a foot of snow next week, who knows?
I know, oh, that could turn it, yeah. That's this thing.
I actually went out yesterday morning because it was so pretty on the lake and the fog was rolling in and I took a picture and it was like spring and I was like, oh, that's lovely. Oh, and the bobcat was in my backyard the other day. So I
That
took
makes
a
it
picture
pretty.
again.
What was it?
The bobcat was in my
Oh.
backyard. That was lovely.
I saw thunder snow last week, 3 times.
That was
The
lovely.
flashes
Oh,
lit
yeah.
up the whole windshield, top of Ball Hill and up. It was unbelievable.
So I did that whole thing. I took the picture and then I woke up this morning to snow. And I was like, oh, what a difference a day made.
3.8 inches we got, Worcester
Yeah.
got 5.5.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm gonna miss my,
You
I
gotta
got
see
my
the
new
hills, you
car.
gotta see the hills in Worcester. You gotta-
Next week
Yeah,
I'll get my
I
new
wonder
car.
why they called it off all the time.
It's a mess.
Nobody.
They don't have
no-
contracts.
nobody
Just a
shovels
little
it.
one.
Nobody
I just
shovels
got the
it.
little
Kids
one.
be-
Good for you.
They don't have enough
pretty
plow
excited
guys
though.
either.
No, right.
They're like shorthanded big time, so.
That's because of good economy.
That's why.
It's happening.
Darlene,
Recently.
are you here for the enforcement matter or the snow issue?
No,
Just-
Okay.
neither, just to,
Okay.
make sure.
Okay, all right, very
We
good.
all stay in line.
I think mostly you, Michelle.
Right?
So in any event,
And that's
I'm
impossible.
going to take, this is not on the agenda, but we had gotten a complaint, there's a complaint of snow being dumped on someone's property
This one right
in the Welland area, yes, and we got, Lizzie sent us pictures, and there should be a copy, you should have got a copy of the
Yep.
complaint form.
Okay, I get
Is it
it.
right?
Is this
Yes.
like right behind Fuller's, basically?
I think it
Yeah,
is.
but
Yeah.
Right behind
We've been
where?
there. We walked there when they did work a couple of years
Whatever
ago.
you had at your,
At my police station.
Behind Fuller's.
Oh, yeah, we did, yes.
Solar
found it.
automotive, but not
Yes,
A couple of years ago.
Although the gentleman's name is Josh Fuller, so.
Um,
But in any event, I'm not aware of this ever coming up on our radar before. But clearly she's complaining that, for one thing, the snow's being put onto her property, so that's a trespass. And secondly, that it's also being pushed into the wetlands. So,
I mean, that's like only,
it's a lot of snow from the last storm we had. So, my suggestion, or my thought was that we issue a cease and desist order.
is it being pushed over a fence? It's very strange.
I don't know.
It's in
Can't tell if
between.
it's in between
It's
or...
kind of like in over
can't
the
tell,
fence
right.
from the other side, like behind the dumpster, I
Yeah, it
think.
looks like on the other side of the building.
So, yeah, they just taking advantage of the extra room.
Well, I mean, I'm just reading her complaint form. It says it's been an issue for her for the last several years.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that to the extent that there's a trespass being committed on her property, that's really her issue. But to the extent that it's being dumped into the wetland, that certainly gives us jurisdiction.
Does the property in question have any sort of orders of conditions or related to the wetlands?
I don't know, because again, I just received this today.
Because I wonder if they're not supposed to be storing their
There's
snow.
definitely wetlands around the property, because we
There
walked
are.
it a couple of years ago, they did some work.
Right. So, you know what I mean? If
I mean,
if any of these buildings, when they were constructed, had something in place where they're not supposed to.
Right,
Snow
put
there.
snow there, I'm sure.
I mean, that's a standard condition of ours.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to presume that, although, like I said, I don't know,
like a car door or something, yeah.
I don't know if they've appeared before us, if we've ever issued an order of conditions for the property, but
Right.
Does anybody know what that is?
I don't know.
no,
Probably part of a vehicle. It looks like an upside down car.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Upside down
Car door.
car. Looks like a part
Could
of
be a
that.
car
Is that
door.
in the wetland too?
It does kind of look like a car door, like.
A door or
who
something,
knows?
or upside down something.
Yeah, it's out.
Darlene,
You really can.
The building inspector had done a site visit.
Right.
And he wanted to share the pictures that he took
Right.
with you.
Okay.
So obviously, I think he felt that maybe conservation might want to see it. So if you're able to do a site visit, it might make a little more sense it's hard to see with the pictures with the snow, everything's white.
Sure.
You know?
I mean, I'm inclined, and I agree with you, I'm inclined though to just go ahead and issue a cease and
I think
desist,
that's a good idea.
just to stop him from doing it again.
Good,
And then what, and I think it would not go to Ms. Rock, although I would certainly copy her in on the order, but it would go to, well, to his company, which is Solar Automotive at 505 Washington
Okay.
Street. So is there a motion?
I move that we issue a cease and desist order to
Is it so?
Solar Automotive, located at 505 Washington Street.
Before we vote on that, should we also ask Mr. Fuller if he'd like to come and meet to our board, or should we just do the cease and desist first?
No, I think we should ask him to come to our next meeting.
I think it might be a good idea.
And Catherine and-
But that's a month from now that he's going to be pushing snow.
Well, no,
Not
he'll
with cease and desist.
be served with the cease and
Oh,
desist
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
In addition, I got
Right,
it.
but still come, yeah.
You know, because, and, you know, and I think copy Ms. Rock, because if Ms. Rock,
Wait,
it appears to me that, excuse me, that she would want to appear for that meeting.
yeah.
Well, it does say she wishes to remain anonymous.
She's not anonymous, her name
on
is
there.
on
It's not
there.
checked off.
But her
No,
name's
only
right
if it's
there.
checked.
So, no, it's not anonymous.
Oh, that's a box. That should
Yeah.
be,
Put the check off.
that's not very clear. We should make that.
In any event,
So the cease and desist
That's what I
orders
think that's
don't
easy.
automatically make them come in?
Nope,
Oh,
you just tell them to stop.
That's it, you just can't do it.
They can ask to come in.
the cease and desist is going to prohibit him, or is going to direct him not to shovel snow
Oh, I'm
or
sorry,
push
I
snow
wasn't
into the
aware of
wetlands.
I thought the cease and desist said stop, but you have to come in. Those letters don't actually say that?
Well, there is a...
Is it enforcement? I don't know.
Checkbox.
Enforcement
I was just going to see if I could find it here.
Uh,
Usually we ask them to come in.
Okay, sorry.
You know,
Okay, I
that's
just
when-
assumed that that was already on
That's when they
there.
have a
Because
chance
we-
to do their mea culpas, you know?
Okay, all right, cool.
But I think Ms. Rock, it seems like, again, there's a bigger issue here. And, clearly, they have to be prohibited from dumping snow into the wetland area. Okay, so, any more discussion about issuing the cease and desist? If there isn't, is there a second to Tom's motion? I'm sorry. who's-
Michelle's.
Michelle's motion, I'm sorry.
I second her motion.
Okay.
Okay.
With,
Is there any further discussion? I mean, just so we're clear, cease and desist, inviting Mr. Fuller to come to our next meeting on January 8th.
okay, that will be on the...
Yes, it will.
Okay, okay.
Okay? If there is no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay. Mr. Arnold? Good evening.
Something you were-
Evening.
I imagine you're here for the certificate of compliance.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
So Mark Arnold here with Goddard Consulting, here on behalf of Auburn Industrial Group for the final partial certificate of compliance for 31 and 33 Sword Street. So the commission issued a partial certificate of compliance for this project in August of last year for the paving of the parking lot, the construction of the stormwater basin, the installation of all the new drainage pipes. And the commission conducted a site walk then, and we did a partial because we hadn't completed the wetland restoration work, which was kind of tied in as part of the notice of intent, just to have that all together. So we submitted a report on October 31st for the fall 2019 monitoring, showing that we have 100% survival rate of all the shrubs. We have in the buffer zone. We have good success in the wetland restoration area, which included planting button bush, which was kind of unique, but in this situation, it actually is the best case for this situation, is because the wetland does flood significantly, and button bush is an obligate, which likes to be actually in a lot of water. And it was good to see that we actually had flourishing this fall, even when the wetland was fully flooded out. So everything is successful from our review. The plants are all thriving, the area is very natural, and we would request a partial certificate of compliance to close out the order and to allow us to remove the erosion controls.
Okay. We have not had an opportunity, at least I haven't had an opportunity to take a look. And of course, we've had snow, but I
Yep.
think the snow is going to think we're gonna have rain, so I think we'll have an opportunity to take a look.
Okay.
And so my sug-
Wintertime, it just...
well, but it's not like it's under 3 feet of snow. All
I
right.
know, but there's no leaves, there's no, it just seems silly to do it right now. Are you gonna take the erosion control out right now?
You can take it out. I mean, the ground's still freeze and thaw. I mean, a lot of it, there's a lot of water. There's some water that we just need to pull out. So you can get that out. So, and again, this is strictly about the restoration area. The rest of the work is already signed off on. And we gave you guys the as-built for that. So,
understand.
but yeah, if you want to look at the plants, they should all have good, healthy buds
Okay.
right now.
So what we'll do is we'll take a look, and then we'll consider this further on January 8th. Okay?
Okay.
And will you guys communicate after you do the site walk with Elizabeth and Sheila about your review? Because I'm not sure if you guys are okay with the site walk, if it's necessary for me to attend the next meeting for you to issue.
I mean, I don't think it is usually.
Okay.
We get requests for certificates of compliance all the time, and it's
Yeah.
very, frankly, unusual for applicants to attend.
Yeah.
So there's no need for you to come.
Yeah, well, we're just making sure that there's no questions or concerns.
I
If there's
understand.
anything else needed,
If
we wanna
there
make
is,
sure that's
we'll
done.
let you know.
Great, thank you
Okay.
so much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Scott.
That partial release, you're looking for a full
Yes,
release on
it's,
that?
well, I guess it's, so this was the certificate of compliance that was issued.
7/3, just put it on.
Yep. And it was issued August,
Did you guys
if you want, I mean, you can keep.
ryegrass will
All
actually
right, well, that might-
sprout
So
yeah,
yeah,
that
so
might
it's
be
it's
easier.
a partial.
No.
Okay.
Somebody
No,
north
so
of just
now-
did
Now you can
to
basically
get-
check off
Get it
complete.
They
complete.
built a
Okay.
house.
All right, great.
And they seeded it like a
Thank
week
you.
and a half ago, and it actually sprouted. I mean, I don't think it's doing too good right now because of the snow, but...
That's shocking.
But, no, I think when they do stuff like that too, Allison, I think that when the ground's almost frozen like that, it's almost better to do it then, because of the impact, everything being frozen, at least they're not trudging through everything. I mean, if it's soaking
Hard
wet...
to see if a wetland's established.
Right. It's, no, I know, I agree.
Except, well, I mean,
I've always had a problem with us doing sidewalks in the winter, but
Yeah, you can't,
and when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, we don't, you know. But, and I think what he's relying on
other pictures
are
from
the
October.
pictures they took in October. But we'll take a look.
right.
And-
Today going today. Fun. Good.
All right. We also got a request for a certificate of compliance from, or for 795 Oxford Street from McClure Engineering. I would say the same caveat would apply. We should take a look and put this over to January 8th.
That's the house, the big house with the horseshoe logo in the front. They're doing a house in the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going on to the right, okay.
Okay. And
I
then,
can't do anything until like the 22nd, which, so,
Could have 3 feet of snow by then.
sorry. The way it's going.
you know, it's catch as catch can.
Need the money.
And then also included in your packet is a bacteria sampling report for ARPA that we got from the Blackstone River Coalition. And they do periodic assessments.
I used to do this.
So how does it look to you?
I didn't really get a chance to look, but
Okay.
if it says it's bad,
It doesn't say it's bad.
It's just one bad test, but supposedly we're missing about 4 tests that they did that we don't have the data for. Right, because they said every week, June through August, so there's 6 that we don't have. We have
So,
2.
and this is the first one that we've done, so perhaps we should send them a letter.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I think that's voluntary. I think they get volunteers to
That's
do
what I'm saying. I
that. So
did
it
the
might
same
be
thing.
tough to,
Uh-huh.
they might not have documented as much as we would have liked them to.
We
but-
didn't used to do bacteria sampling, that's a new addition.
Darlene, do you get copies of these?
So, yeah, we have gotten, I believe, one other report that I recall coming in.
Okay.
Because when this came in, I remembered from this organization.
Uh-huh.
And I think what I saw on it, I think we were in, I don't think we were in any of the severe categories.
Right.
From what I recall from reviewing it a couple weeks ago. But I think it was important to show you that, somebody is monitoring. If it looks like they are also, they're doing water bodies, not just Auburn, but around.
It's the whole,
yeah.
the whole watershed.
Right. So I recall looking at it and thinking that, it's a good baseline to have.
Mhm.
And I do know that we are going to start having to keep track of testing of
Stupid.
stormwater requirements that are coming down the line from the federal and state government.
Right.
So I thought this was a good thing to have, kind of before we get into more testing. So perhaps once we start getting that testing and results, we might be able to put it together with us to see if there's any action that we need to take. The only thing that I didn't, I was wondering if they give a recommendation for like each specific town's water bodies.
What I think would be helpful would be if, and I don't know if they offer speakers or if they do any, that's what I'm looking for. If they have like a rider program where they talk to different towns. What I'd like to do is, because I see that this was submitted by Susan Thomas at the coalition. I was thinking about maybe just sending her an email, thanking her for sending us the letter and just saying, it would be great if you could come out and talk to our board about, your monitoring efforts and basically what you're doing and what your methodology is and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay.
Is Dark Brook a brook that people would swim in or would fish in, or?
Not voluntarily.
Not now.
No.
Unfortunately, a lot of ours they're becoming like so weeds, like this, they're
Right.
all full of weeds.
So it's not a risk to anyone's health unless you're.
But for example, they talk about how the DPH limit was the E. coli exceeded the DPH limit.
Yeah, by.
I'm one of the 3 sampling events. Well,
100%.
why and what can be done to reduce that? So,
So it's, June, hot summer months, the water's low, not moving.
okay.
It would be good to get more information, for sure.
All right.
The rest of the
DPH limit,
data.
you're right.
All right, so what I'll do is I will contact her and see if I can. Does she know you?
Yes, well, maybe, I did it for a year.
Okay, but do you know Susan Thomas?
Yes, that's who
Okay.
you'd have to go there every day and get the bottles from her.
Allison says, hey. Okay, I'll be happy to do that. All right. And
That was
then
the start of my volunteering.
Oh.
the minutes for November 13th. So Lizzie, I sent you my comments. Otherwise, they look great. I don't know if anyone else had any comments.
Your assessment, I looked at it, I used the red pen.
Yeah, and
and
I
found
added
everything else, so-
everything.
That's fine, yep.
Yeah, no, the comments were very helpful, so thank you.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Good job.
If,
That's
all right. If,
good.
is there a motion to accept the minutes of November 13th?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes
It's amended.
as amended by
All right.
Michael.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, a vote. So the only thing we have to vote on the application for 36 Inwood Street. So is there a motion?
If I make a motion that we issue a negative determination for 36 Inwood Street, it's based on Glenn Kravosky's information he gave us in our site.
And our site visit. Very good. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, to vote. Okay.
Okay, that's great. That's okay. Send it out. Jesus. I know, but it's bad
Are they encroaching on your space, Carolyn?
I'm sorry, what?
Are they encroaching on your
They
space?
are, they are. I mean,
Too early
really.
about it.
I mean,
how are you going to possibly decipher that signature?
Oh, come on.
They're going back to Chris?
Doctors do it all the
Teaching kids
time.
back to Chris?
So I
never got
go
taught,
to
obviously.
31 and 33
Obviously, I didn't do very well. First time.
You do?
by
I just
myself.
didn't like the look of the wetland.
Do you really? Is it like a mission of yours?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's kind of
like
weird.
almost every time it rains, I go there and just kind of look at it.
Switch the names, because you're
So-
not Michelle.
Just because. And congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
When?
April. Yeah,
Yeah, nice time to get baby out.
You sure?
yeah,
I put that here in Portsmouth.
we're happy.
Absolutely.
It's established over there. I mean, and the erosion control measures that 33 put in and everything else like behind there, it's established, it's done. I mean, I know that because I've been there.
We've been there.
I'm
Enough
gonna say
times.
6
Oh,
times.
yeah, we've been there.
Beyond what you guys have done, I go there by myself.
Let's put a camera there.
So, yeah.
Can we do that?
Well, I don't go at 6 o'clock in the morning trudging through after a rainstorm, but I do go there in the afternoon. So,
Where is that you're talking about? I'm sorry.
31 to 33.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do that on my own,
Yeah.
just to make sure, because I want to know on the next Wednesday if we're going to get pictures, or the next day, or
Okay.
if we're going to...
Oh, when?
So how do we get
Does that stick up?
a map like this that has all the wetlands in Auburn?
Is it Mass GIS that has it, I think? The overlay
It's all
maps?
on the town
Oh, it's on-
website.
Yeah, that's right.
There's one on the website.
Town engineer should be able to print us out one.
Say something.
No, I understand.
They've got a vote on it.
Right, wouldn't it be nice to just be able to say, like, this is just a tiny little wetland, or like, this is a
That would be
wetland
great.
that's connected to like the whole resource?
How are you doing with finding out? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
So we, working with the town planner and building commissioner, and something that we actually discussed about updating some of the maps that we have.
No, you like
Be able
this.
to include,
So
so that's something we can certainly ask,
Tell them to
see if we can get.
Yeah, just like the pertinent layers that would be applicable to what we're doing.
Yeah, that would be great.
Look at that.
Maybe that's the one.
That's a map
I
right
can't
there.
tell you where I got that.
No, you'll have to kill us.
Actually,
I got it where
that
it came
point.
from months ago, I think.
Darlene, remember the preparedness workshop we did in February?
Was that it?
So
I made it work.
that's, because I got my copy, I think, at that time too.
Oh,
So, something like that.
Yeah.
So, if we could even just get copies of this, that'd be very helpful.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow,
Carolyn,
we're
this
trying to
is
get
yours, right?
that. Yeah, it is. I don't know where I got it, as I said.
Okay. Probably stole it from someone.
No, never.
Carolyn's not
Never.
giving that out, so...
You want a copy? Yeah, you can take the copy and I'll make sure we can get a large size.
Wasn't there a typo on it too?
We can make that.
That's all right.
I thought there was a typo. Okay.
So you would just, I just want to just clarify this, you were talking about sending an email to that,
I'll contact Ms.
No,
Thomas.
sorry, that's it. Give me that number.
Just say, I'll tell her that Allison says hi, and
She's never
But
gonna
that would-
remember me now.
I'm going to try to get more information. Thank her for sending us
Okay,
their
was
sampling report.
I did the Auburn sampling
When?
for a year,
A couple of years ago?
about 2 years ago, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was cool and I would have kept doing it, but
you want to switch in.
Well,
Yeah, I just did it, yeah.
You did it when I wasn't looking.
Okay.
What, oh, the switching names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other business?
I just have one thing. I think Lizzie's doing an awesome job.
Yes.
I do too.
And the only thing I'd like to add is, I missed that line that Sheila put at the end that you added about a year ago, just so that we write when they're approved, so we're not sitting there, did we pass these or not?
Yeah.
So I copied the last page just to
This
give
is
to
Tom's.
you.
He just said that one right there.
You
And
can
then
probably
I
just copy and
mentioned
paste
the
it from the
time
other
we
one.
adjourn, that's all, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's just
Yeah.
helpful to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
very, thank you.
That's all.
Awesome.
That's,
Okay.
okay, you all right with that?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
All right, so is there any other business? Okay,
Merry Christmas, business.
all right. If there's no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn
Oh,
this
I,
meeting?
no, I
Second.
just question anyone, I just want to check on the bottom of our agenda, it says January 15th, next meeting, that is,
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Yes,
okay.
I updated
that's okay.
the other agenda.
It's just so
after
we
I
all
sent
know
it
it's
out,
here.
yeah.
So we're gonna go back to our normal bi-monthly
2 and 4.
schedule
Okay.
beginning in January. So
Yep.
the next meeting will be January 8th. Okay?
Okay.
There's the
All set.
first, right.
All right,
So
so
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn this meeting?
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote? All right, everyone.
All right.
Happy New Year.